You're listening to the Because I Said So podcast.
All right, we're here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Because I Said So podcast, a father and son's podcast. My long-suffering wife is in the same room as us, but she's promised to be quiet. This is episode 7 of the Because I Said So podcast. In fact, it's the second attempt to record this particular episode because I don't know what happened, but my iPad decided to only record about 4 minutes or so of a 26-minute episode of us talking about what we're going to talk about today. And I was a little bummed when I came up here on Friday night and was going to piece it together and then upload it to Spreaker to only discover we had 4 minutes of audio and nothing else.
Did you upload like a thing saying, sorry, we don't have an episode up right now?
No, because the two people that listen to this don't care.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, welcome to the show. Of course, you've just heard Josiah talking. Jonas is here somewhere. Jonas, where are you?
I'm right here.
I can't hear you.
I'm right here.
You got to be somewhere nearby.
I'm right here.
You're so quiet. I can't hear you.
Here, that's what it sounds
I'm
like.
right here.
You're right where?
On the bed.
Well,
Or are you under there?
I can't just hear you. That's the problem. You're too quiet.
Are you under there, Jonas?
You need to be at least like a foot from the mic.
I'm like...
Now, you're the one that really wanted to record tonight, and you're not even like nearby. You're not even on the microphone. You're not even around.
Now am I?
Yes, now you are. Okay, there we are. All right, so this was a busy weekend. We did we recorded the show on Friday, and we talked about, because yesterday was Batman Day, officially Batman Day. September the 17th was the Batman.
We haven't watched the 1966.
No, we didn't, because I promised Josie that we would not watch it. And so we watched something else Batman related that was almost as good. I liked it.
You brought out one of the same weapons, so yeah.
Yes, it actually ties in. Well, we'll get back to that. We actually, for Batman Day, and in honor of a...
And last night I was watching cartoon.
Last night he was watching the cartoon with like the super weird looking Joker that doesn't even look like the Joker. He looks
the Batman?
Yes.
Yes, that actually the music was written by the guys from U2. Yeah, fun fact. I didn't watch that show that much.
The Mr. Freeze looks cool, and everyone else looks cool, but the Joker just looks really weird in that show. I don't understand why they designed him the way they did.
Well, that's what they do. But anyway, what we did was...
his laugh is like, ha ha ha.
Ha ha. Well,
It's
we watched different Joker voices, not Mark Hamill. We watched the 1966 third season episode of Batman called Surf's Up, Joker's Under. And unfortunately, on the live show we did on Facebook, I called it Surf's Up, Joker's Down, which I think works, but that's actually what I found on the internet, told me the title of the show was, but the title was actually Surf's Up, Joker's Under.
You can't believe everything you...
Well, apparently you can. It's a 50-year-old show, and they didn't have the right title on the internet.
Someone got a tattoo that said, like, lies or something on it, and then they put an apostrophe? Is that what it is? Like
yes.
Yeah. They put an apostrophe before the S, and they said, why is there an apostrophe in the S? And they were like, I saw it on the internet.
Yes. Tattoos 99% of the time represent bad decisions.
No regrets.
Yes. Yes.
That would be the tattoo
not a single
I would
one.
get.
Anyway, another letter of regrets. Anyway, so what we did was we watched the every tattoo on the Jared Leto Joker is a regretful tattoo. But anyway, speaking of the Joker, we watched Surf's Up, Joker's Under. It was interesting because the 60s Batman show used to be cliffhangers. It was 2 episodes would entail one story, and this was actually, I think in the 3rd season they decided to just have one story per 25-minute episode. They kind of embraced who they were, and they solved whatever problem within 25 minutes. And this particular episode was 25 minutes long, and it started off on the beach, right?
Yeah, and then it shows Oracle. Well, I call her Oracle because that's her name in
It's
Arkham Knight.
Barbara Gordon.
It's Barbara Gordon. But,
Yes.
Oracle.
I call her Oracle.
She's not Oracle. Well, she
She's
didn't
not
become
Oracle
until like 1988. So this was like she was always Batgirl.
Yeah, because The Killing Joke didn't come out until then, right?
Yeah, and you can't even read it.
I can't read The Killing Joke.
Or watch it. But anyway, so Barbara Gordon's on the beach with she's watching her boyfriend. He's a surfer dude, and he's like the best surfer on the planet. And he's killing it. He's riding the waves, doing a good job. Barbara Gordon is watching him, and he comes back. He's all dried off and everything. I don't know how he was so dry after being in the water, but they're talking about his like surfing skills and the big competition coming up or whatever.
And then can I tell him what happens?
What happens?
Well, the Joker has a machine that can switch.
He steals Barbara Gordon's boyfriend and uses like this machine that takes his surfer moves and transforms.
I believe
the Joker.
The best part about this is the sea urchin. They labeled
spines?
it. No, they labeled it. They labeled it so you knew exactly what machine it was. It's called the Surfing Experience and Ability Transferometer. And they made sure you knew exactly what it was.
Down.
Well, I wrote it down because I wanted to get it right. The Surfing Experience and Ability Transferometer. And they made sure that they said it like 3 or 4 times in the episode so you knew exactly what it was, right? So they hooked Joker up to the machine and it transferred all of his experience and abilities. The surfer transferred all his experience and abilities to the Joker because apparently the Joker, criminal mastermind that he is, figures the best thing he can do is win this surfing contest right before he defeats Batman.
This Joker's like there's like the 3 versions in the comics and then there's the 3 versions in film. Him, the one from the '89 Batman movie and the one from the newer Dark Knight. And like the Dark Knight one is the new version of the comics, like the new 52 sort of crazy Joker, and then there was the one from the Comics Code when the Comics Code Authority took over, where she was like not even a criminal mastermind.
Well, here's
like,
the problem, and this is what it represents: the era of the '60s was a much more innocent era. And something happened in 1986 where comics took a dark, dark turn. And they stopped being fun and they started being serious.
I think I have the Alf comic from...
Yeah, the Alf comic you have is from like 1988. The Alf comic. Yeah. But anyway, 1986 is like the linchpin for when comic books got way too serious and way too dark. And you had the Joker become this insane madman, sociopath, and the Batman became more brooding, and just everything took a turn for the worse and a turn for the dark. The Cesar Romero Joker is a Joker for a more innocent time.
Yeah, like
and a
there
fun
was
Joker.
The first Joker that came out in the comics was like a mob boss sort of guy, makes big deals and robs banks and stuff. But and then that's like the one from the '89 Batman.
And then there's Psychopath.
And then the Psychopath one is the Heath Ledger, and then this version of the Joker is the one from the Comics Code Authority where he just pulled pranks and was like funny.
The Batman in 1989, the Nicholson Joker, was actually inspired by the Joker from The Dark Knight Returns. More than anything else.
I haven't seen it. I really want to see Batman Arkham.
No.
Right.
Nope.
Batman Knight Arkham.
Dark
Knight? No, you will not. Actually, it's on hold in the library, but I will be watching it without either of you because it's rated R.
Wait, The Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Returns. Not The Dark Knight.
I was like, I've watched The Dark Knight. That's the one that he wants to watch.
Oh, yeah, no, you're not watching that yet, Jonas. You're still too young.
Rises.
So, anyway, let's go back to the Batman we were talking about. Batman, so the Joker steals all these surfer moves, right? And meanwhile, first of all, wait, we rewind for a second. The Joker shows up at the beach in the coolest car ever, the Joker Mobile. Take your finger out of your nose. Gross. Anyway.
Sorry.
So anyway, and the Joker shows up in the Joker mobile, and this whole episode had like the coolest vehicles. You had the Joker mobile, then you had Batman and Robin showing up in the Batcopter, you know, and then the Batmobile, of course, is the coolest of all. But so the Joker shows up in the Joker mobile, and they kidnap. First of all, before they kidnapped Skip or whatever the guy's name was, I should have done more show prep. I should have actually written the character names down. Anyway, they shows up.
They steal the hot dog.
Yeah,
guy.
hot dog Hannigan or something, and they stuff him in a garbage can, right? And
And
they lock him in there. And meanwhile, the two worst cops in the world, Chief O'Hara and Commissioner Gordon, walk in, and they're dressed undercover apparently.
And then they sit next to the garbage can.
And they sit next to the garbage can. There's a bang, and they're like, it could be echoing from the ocean or whatever.
No wonder Gotham City's overridden with crime. Their top cops are horrible at their jobs. I mean, come on, right? So they're banging. The guy's banging on the garbage can, and they think it's just like an echo from the sea or something. I don't know what that was.
No,
So-
They were wearing the greatest sunglasses ever.
Yeah,
I want. Wait, Chief O'Harris, right?
Chief O'Hara. Yeah.
I want his glasses. I want those green glasses that are like that. They remind me of like Back to the Future 2,
Yeah.
where they're always wearing glasses like that.
Well, they show up and they see this band playing, right? Johnny Green and the Green Men. They're playing like a surfer. You know, maybe I'll look them up while I'm putting this show together and see if I can find them on. They're playing like cool surf music, which I dig. I totally dig. They're playing surf music, and they look at them, and Chief O'Hara says, "These guys are looking at their iPods, and I'm talking." I don't.
I'm listening, and
I'm looking
Yeah,
at
no.
the.
They're look.
Yeah,
So
no,
anyway, Chief O'Hara and Commissioner
looking
Gordon
up
see
Johnny
them,
Green
and
and the
Chief
Green
O'Hara says, "Oh, they must be working with the Joker, right?" But they're not working with the Joker at all. They just have green hair. It's wild. So Joker steals his surfing ability and his experience using the surfing experience and ability transferometer, and Batman discovers his plan. So he steals the abilities. Batman finds out his plan. He confronts the Joker and says, "I'm going to basically beat you in the surfing contest instead."
And then they go into the dressing room.
No,
on
wait,
their
stop.
surf shorts.
First he sends Robin away and says, "Go get Dick Grayson," and Dick Grayson shows up, which is weird because Robin knows where Dick Grayson is right away. And Dick Grayson has this cool surfboard with the bat symbol on it. Right?
found him.
Yeah, look, Johnny Green and the Green Men. Yeah, they have an actual record. Anyway, well, maybe I'll tack them on somewhere in the episode.
They're not on Apple Music, though.
They're not on Apple Music?
They're not.
I'll find them somewhere. So Joker and Batman agree to face each other in a surfing contest. And they have to go to the locker room to change.
And then they come out and they're just wearing it over their other clothes.
Yes. The Joker's wearing a long coat with tails.
He's wearing it still.
Yes, and Batman's wearing his, they call them baggies, which I've never heard them, it must be a surf term for,
No, it might be like a 50s surf term. Not
Why
50s?
50s?
60s term,
I don't
surf
know.
term,
Maybe,
because,
maybe.
like, in the 50s and 60s, they had weird, like, slang. And now we don't have, like, weird slang.
Wait a minute, we totally cut out the whole part in the middle where they capture Batman and Robin using sea urchin spines. And they're in like a cigar box, and it's like something I keep in my basement with the screws and stuff in it or whatever. It's like something I keep stored somewhere, like sea urchin spines. Oh, in case I need these for another day. And they paralyze Batman and Robin.
And he's like, these could be deadly. And then they spray the stuff on him, and then they escape.
No, they sprayed the stuff on him, and they think it's like an epoxy. They're going to turn them into surfboards.
Yeah.
And they're surfboards. They're actually surfboards on the tables, right? And then they go to put this lacquer on, and it explodes. Now, the other cool thing I discovered, we saw this, is the easiest cosplay ever. You guys are going to have to do this.
No, never.
Yes.
We're being Wirt and Greg for Halloween.
Wipeout and Riptide are Joker's henchmen. I think what we should do is get you in these shirts, and next time we go to a con, because like there's usually a dozen Jokers at every con, you can run up to each Joker and ask them what you need them to do. Because they're his henchmen. And if they're a